one.
Nice
This is
one.
going to be a very interesting race.
It is, yeah. This is going to be really fun. I always love seeing races here.
Yeah, same here. Having raced around in Nordschleife for years and years, I can tell you it will always throw a curveball at you. Especially when you least expect it.
Oh, definitely. This really is the ultimate test of consistency. The drivers right now are getting their final preparations ready ahead of qualifying. So while they take care of that, I guess we might as well make a start on the standings. Alright, so your excuse me a minute. So your AM Championship standings, there we go, got there in the end, are as follows. Eric Gregus currently leading the way with 68 points, followed closely in second by Zen VT with 63 points. In third place with 58 points, Kenneth VT, followed closely by Mo Song with 57 points in fourth. In fifth place with 46 points, we have Ivano Shensoi. And tied for sixth place is Kaito Nasa and DJ Overdrive, both with 45 points. Eighth place is Zul Akihara, closely following them in 43 points. In ninth place with 36 points, we have Ironmentrix Zanes. And in 10th place, we have another tie. Amethysta VTube and G-Fox Foxington both enter this round with 34 points. In 12th place, we have Ubi Deuce with 33 points. In 13th place with 20 points, we have Hotaru Ray. 14th place, 16 points, we have Deaf Player End. In 15th place with 13 points, we have Maybe Battery. And in 16th, we have Ryuma Tateyama with 6 points.
Well done. In the Pro class, we have in first position Reina Miyata with 102 points, followed in second place by Lucas Lichten with 78 points. 20 points behind, in third place, we have Midnight Hurricane, being followed very closely by Ruby Nekomata, just 5 points behind at 53 in fourth place. Behind them, we have a pair of Malaysian drivers. We have Psycho Kaiser in 5th place at 48 points, followed by his teammate Ryoma Kiriara in 6th at 43 points. Following them in 7th place, we have Asa the Nyampire, or as I like to call her, Asa the Nyompire, because she likes to zoom. Followed closely by Agi Logi from X-Ring in 8th place at 31 points. We have a tie for 9th place, or well, we have two Chinese drivers, both at 29 points. Nami Zero Zak, which has been disqualified for this round, and Iser Ambra. Following them, we have Dirty Kuhai at 22 points, Zach Jensen in 12th place at 21 points, Jordan Branch in 13th place at 18 points, and then me in 14th place with just 6 points.
Fair to say, I don't think you'd be scoring many points this round. But onto the team standings, we have X-Ring VTuber Racing Club in first place with 151 points. Second place with 131 is Project GQ Racing. Third place with 92, we have Fox VTRC x Bagu Racing. And followed closely is in fourth place, Technoburst Rev Up with 88 points. Fifth place, we have another type battle here. At 81 points, holding steady, we have X-Ring and IGO VTuber Racing Club, followed closely in sixth place by Technoburst Racing with 80 points. In seventh place, we have Queen's Design Pan and Formula with 79 points. In eighth place with 70 points is Grip Runners Racing Team. In ninth place with 49 points, we have Owuru Bagu Racing Team. I think I got that right. In 10th place with 36 points, we have Bagu x Vitality Racing Team. In 11th place with 33 points, we have X-Ring GNIR-X. Oh, it's mirrored, I see what they've done there.
Yeah,
okay.
it's a palindrome, yes.
Right, I like it. In
like
12th place with 31 points, we have X-Ring Spirits, and rounding out the teams, we have in 13th place with 28 points, the classic, my favorite, Hot Laps and Hairballs.
Thank you very much for the kind comment. But yeah, now that
Right.
free practice is over, we're just going to wait for the last racers to end their laps, and then we will head straight into qualifying. What are your predictions for this next session?
So I think there's two ways to approach this qualifying session. You either go out, take the shortcut, and then start your flying lap with a slightly slow starting speed, but fresh tires. Or you go out, take the shortcut once, and then do 2 flying laps. Either way, you get 2 flying laps. It's all a question of how the driver feels. They can make the most of it. What gives them the best flow, especially because on a lap this long. Having fresh tires being perfect for qualifying only really applies to Sector 1. Because beyond that, it's like just running a race stint. This lap is so long.
Indeed, we'll also have to, well, the drivers, will also need to be careful about traffic, since this is a very long racetrack, and especially the Nordschleife is going to be very tight. So traffic management will be absolutely something the drivers will have to think about, even in qualifying.
That is very true. Especially with how difficult overtaking is here, getting caught up behind someone will absolutely just eat away at all your lap time.
Especially when it comes to pro drivers, maybe finding yourself behind a slow AM driver might ruin your lap potentially, and you only have 2 shots. One lap might be slowed down by traffic, the other you might get an off track in a very unforgiving racetrack. So this qualifying session is bound to be very interesting.
Imagine so. I'm quite looking forward to seeing how it plays out. I'll tell you what, then I've got a question directly for you then.
Alright.
You've mixed in with this field, you know what it's like to race with this lot. So out of the 2 options that I suggested, which one would you pick? How would you drive this qualifying session?
Boy, this is going to be a very tough question, but I will tell you, I will probably get out as fast as possible from the pit lane.
Yep.
Then take the shortcut and try and avoid traffic as much as possible. Then I will just try and drive as fast as I can. However, I will also be very mindful about curves, because in ACC, around the Nordschleife, they will be very deadly. There are also a few parts of the track that are going to be extremely difficult, like Flans Garden, and also, what was his name? Flugplatz. They're also going to be extremely difficult, and if you don't nail the jumps, because the cars will jump, you risk ending up in the wall. You get your qualifying attempts ruined. So yeah, get out ASAP, make sure you don't get traffic ahead of you, and pray the ACC gods will not send you into the wall. That would be my... yeah, that would be my qualifying strategy.
Okay. Well, I've got one last question. Would you be running 2 laps in a row, or would you want to have a break in between, get fresh tires, and run lighter fuel? Because I really can't work out what would be better here.
Fresh tires are only going to be impactful in the first sector, so I will go on a hunch and say I will run both laps, like consecutively. Especially because if you have to reset, go back to the pits, it's going to take a bit of time. Some time that you might not have the luxury to afford and lose. So just do that consecutively and hope for the best.
Very good point, and yeah, very good priority there. I like that. I like how you think.
Thank you very much.
And as you called out as well, we're seeing this first crowd who rushed out of the pit lane, trying to make the most of the time that we've got here. They're all a little bit grouped up, even though they've all just started their flying laps.
Yes, indeed. We see oh, wait a second. We see Dirty Kuhai. Oh, he had an Austin Powers moment while trying to take the shortcut, and he ended up having to reset to the pits, so that's already time loss. You cannot really afford to have a time loss if you have only 2 attempts in qualifying. This is going to be very difficult for you. So, well, for you, in this specific situation for Kuhai, that is going to be very difficult for him.
That is true. 17 minutes left on the clock right now. Lap time's looking to be in the low 8-minute region, so gonna be a little bit tight getting an outlap and 2 laps in there. Bearing in mind, of course, the outlap includes a shortcut.
Yes, indeed. In the meantime, I would like to point out that Miyata at this point in time does have a purple. It might be a leftover from the parking session, but I mean, they are the fastest guy in the championship in P1, so I would expect them to be the fastest also in this qualifying session, since they always showed a very strong pace. Two other drivers in Pro Class to keep an eye on are going to be Midnight Hurricane and Ruby Nekomata, especially since their title battle for P2 is going to be extremely close. They are not going to leave any room for their opponent.
Definitely not. Like they've got it all to play for that last podium spot. We ride along with Midnight Hurricane here. Of course, almost won the previous race at Donington, so no doubt coming back into this race thinking it's time to make a statement.
Midnight, it's summertime. She will absolutely do everything in her power to go as fast as she possibly can. However, I would like to point out, she is right behind her championship rival, Ruby Nekomata, which is right ahead of her. So we might see also potentially some strategy playing out already in qualifying. Maybe Midnight wanting to take this slipstream of a faster car, or maybe wanting to study her lines and see where she's the strongest and where she's the weakest, and maybe try and come up with a strategy for the race.
Definitely makes sense, yeah. Especially getting a toe down the Duttinger Her here. That is a very long, flat-out section, so getting a toe down there is a huge speed boost.
Yes,
Well,
indeed.
on the other side, I imagine Ruby Nekomata is determined to not let that happen. Keep
That is also true.
all the way around, yeah.
But yeah, if you can get the two on the Duttinger Her, those are 2.1 kilometers of basically free time you gain. So getting a 2 and not giving someone else a 2 is going to be extremely important.
Looks like a few people hoping to get it as well. Just having a little glimpse at that mini-map we see on the right-hand side of our screens, there's a couple of spots where we can see cars bunched up a little bit close. This depends on if they close the gap or not. I guess there's only really one way to find out, isn't there?
Yes, indeed, only one way to find out, and that is just to sit up here and wait for them to, well, almost finish their lap, because the Duttinger Her is going to be at the end of the lap. Also, speaking of the Duttinger Her, there are some people that I raced on the Nordschleife with in the past, not just in ACC but also in other simulators, that told me they basically consider the Nordschleife to be a low downforce track, because you basically have a lot of sections where you go flat out. So, for example, before fixture, the Duttinger Her, also all that uphill section after Vtracc, pardon me if I pronounced it incorrectly, those are going to be flat out sections where top speed is going to be important. So it's going to be interesting to see if the drivers decided to go with a low downforce setup and take advantage of these flat out sections as much as possible, or they decide to play safe for the rest of the track and opt for high downforce, safe, but it's going to slow them down quite a lot on these massive flat out sections.
That's a very good point, actually, yeah. Especially considering sometimes just having the downforce through these technical corners isn't enough to just make it stable and make it consistent. And you know what, if it's not making the car more consistent, why do you need it, right?
That's indeed very much true. Oh boy, this is good. I'm literally trembling because I'm excited for this qualifying session. It's going to be very good.
Yeah, me too. It's a suspenseful one, this one. We've got a long time to wait to see actually where people filter in. We of course have our assumptions.
Yes,
Midnight Hurricane, we're expecting to wind up currently third place in the Pro Championship.
Yep, that
Very
is going to
quick
be
driver.
correct. However, since we did talk about the two you could get on the Duttinger Her, I'm looking at Miyata, Nekomata, and Hurricane. They are very far apart between each other. No one is going to get a 2. So nobody is going to get an advantage on the lap over the other drivers. That is going to be extremely interesting. We are going to see exactly the skill of the drivers at play, and potentially maybe their setup too. but there is not going to be any cheesy advantage anyone could give to the other driver with a toe.
We do love to see a nice, fair battle, don't we? It'd be really
Yes,
interesting
indeed.
as well to see what kind of top speeds people are doing down the Dottinger Her as well.
That would also be extremely interesting, yes. We
Well,
might see already a glimpse of who is running low downforce and who is running high, my bad. Also, please go ahead. Sorry for
no
interrupting
worries.
you.
No, you're all good. I will be keeping an eye on my little data sheet here as it feeds in speed trap readings. We haven't got any for any of the drivers right now because, of course, we haven't gone through the speed trap yet, but yeah.
It's going to be extremely interesting. The fastest, the highest, my bad, the highest speed, thank you, Jojo, the highest top speed the drivers will be able to reach are going to be very indicative of what we are going to see in the race, especially because in the first lap, we are going to see a lot of slipstream battles, not just on the Nordschleife, but also on the GP loop.
Very good point, yeah.
And after starting, the drivers are going to be bunched up, and especially on the GP loop, there is the section between the sharp right and then the fast chicane. That is going to be a slipstream battle. So we can also. I don't want to have to play the commentator's curse. We might also see a lot of crashes in lap 1. I hope our drivers will be able to keep it clean, but it's the Nordschleife. You never know.
That is true, and damage limitation really is the name of the game around here. We see Reina Miata crossing the start-finish line, posting the first lap time of the session at 8 minute 15.7. Followed closely by Ruby Nakamata, currently in second with an 8:15.9. The Midnight Hurricane drifting into third with an 8:16.8.
It's interesting to notice how each of these three drivers, they each have a fastest sector. So Midnight Hurricane has the fastest sector 1, Ritomo Migliata has the fastest sector 2, and Ruby Nekomata has the fastest sector 3. So even though these drivers, they are, well, they're actually quite close because a 1.1 second gap over, 25 kilometers long lap? That is tight. So, yeah, this is going to be a very tight qualifying battle. Also, in the AM class, we see Battery and Ubidius very close, them two as well. With I see an off track. I see an off right there for Dirty Kuhai. Oh, you really don't want to do that. That is going to slow you down quite heavily. But yeah, going back to the AM battle, we are seeing, if I can get my cursor on it, an 830.990 by Battery and an 831.820 by Ubidius. Again, this is almost a 1 second gap, but on a 25 kilometers long lap, that is not much. Wait a second. Sorry for interrupting you. Icer Ambra goes into P3 and breaks up the battle between Midnight Hurricane and Ruby Nekomata. This is interesting. They are going to run a very tight race between each other. This is going to be very, very, very interesting.
Yeah, it's all heating up here. Icer Ambra, of course, running, what was it, 6th currently in, oh no, 10th. That's right, Icer Ambra's missed a few races this season. Currently tied for 9th with Namizero Zach, who of course has been excluded from this race, so probably feeling quite confident about moving up at least one position here today.
Well, I mean, a position gained, that's for sure on Namizero Zach, but how many more can they get? Like, if they can get this P3, that is going to be a lot of points. There is going to be a lot of juicy and interesting points.
It is, and that's going to be really good progress in the championship too.
Yes, indeed. We see the rest of the grid that is going to underlaps. Ryoma Kirihara, despite being in the pro class, is very far from the top positions, just being less than 2 seconds ahead of the fastest car in AM, which is Battery at this point in time. My bad if I don't know the name, I don't know everyone in the grid. But yeah,
right.
they're pretty close.
It is, yeah. Especially considering that Kirihara, we saw, had that off-track moment right at the end of his lap. So there's some time lost there, some easy time to be gained in a second go of this, which it looks like he's setting up for at the moment. Don't think
That
this is a
is
flying lap.
very much true. Let me see. Kirihara, I think. Oh, okay. No, he's on his second attempt, but he's encountering heavy traffic ahead. I think that's VTuber. No, it's not them. Who's that? Okay. But yeah, he's encountering slow traffic in the M class. You cannot really do much about it else. Ryoma Miyata is going to encounter the same traffic that Ryoma Kirihara is encountering, but besides that, they're also going to have to deal with Ryoma Kirihara. Oh, in the wall. Never mind, there is no traffic anymore. We saw yellow flags in sector 1, but they're now resolved. But that was
Nice clear track as well, trying to get show back on the road as well. Right on board with Psycho Kaiser here, just spying at that speedometer on the dashboard. I think I saw 282 kilometers there. A little bit tense getting it stopped for this corner, but looks alright. A bit of a speed slide there on the exit as well. Love that, those little drifts you see people doing when they're accelerating hard. Coming up and across the line for Psycho Kaiser. Who has moved
P5.
up to 5th, yeah, with 8-minute 27.4.
Well, again, that is not a bad lap time, but we can see that the top 4 is in a completely different class. Like, there are 3 classes right now running around the racetrack, and that is going to be top 4, the rest of the pros, and then AM. That is impressive.
It really is. I'm still watching that. Those lap times at the top, they're just wondering what's going to happen. Especially because I think Ruby Nekomata is going to be in that car. Already feeling quite pleased with where she's put it so far.
Well, yes, that would be the case. Also, Ruby Nekomata right now with the fastest lap time, with a delta of 9/10 of her fastest lap time. Or wait, now it's over a second, so that will put her right into first place. And also Iserambra, Midnight Hurricane, they're all improving. That is going to be a very fierce battle for P1. They all have a green delta that will put them either in P1 or P2. That is the tense battle.
It really is. We're just seeing as well how Ruby Nekomata is driving this track as well. You just see the anger and ferocity.
Yes, indeed. I mean, it's as if that's her backyard. We can see her confidence in taking every corner, every single curb. Like, it feels natural, but yet it's so fast. It's incredible. Like, incredible stuff by all of our drivers here. I'm genuinely impressed.
Yeah, me too. I'm also impressed by the kind of paint schemes as well that we're seeing this season. I love that pink, white, and purple that we see on the Queen's Design Pan-On Formula BMWs here.
I have to agree, that's absolutely beautiful.
And just one of many beautiful cars in this grid. You see a car up in front as well. Is that Psycho Kaiser?
No, that's Ryoma Kirihara.
Ah, okay.
Well, they're already at their lap time. They're already at their lap slowed down by traffic earlier. Oh, now they're going to beat the traffic for Ruby Nekomata. Oh, that's an attempt down the drain. Oh, Ruby is going to be livid about that. Like, oh yeah, now she's pulling. That is an attempt down the drain for Ruby Nekomata. And as I said, traffic is going to be absolutely brutal here.
You're right, it can really make or break a lap time, as we saw it just break one lap time, and Rumi Kirihara into the wall as well.
Yes, and also Ruby Nekomata, she can technically still have one. Oh, Psycho Kai is also in the wall. That is not good. Oh. But yeah, Ruby Nekomata, she might have a very tight time to set another lap time. Unless the time after session is going to be 3 minutes, in which case she doesn't have enough time to set another lap time. So that is going to be her in P2. Probably. Very probably. I mean, very likely, my bad. Very probably is awful.
One thing's for sure, either way, it's not going to be a bad result from Ruby Nekomata out of this session. Following Zach Jensen now as well, just wrapping up a lap. That mighty Ford Mustang absolutely munching up the straight to get to the start-finish line as quickly as possible and posting a lap time of 8 minutes 29. That puts Zach Jensen in 8th place.
Yes, indeed, just behind Ryoma Kiriara and just ahead of Vtracc. Also, Ice Rambra, they did reset back to the pits. However, Lucas Lichten out of the blue with the pole position. That is impressive with a 8:15.695. I didn't have Lucas on my radar at all, but they ended up setting the pole position right at the end of the qualifying session. That's impressive.
It is, and I think there's a lesson there as well. Never let Lucas Lichten off your radar. He's a very quick driver, and when the opportunity comes up, he will make the most of it.
Yes, indeed. Oh, that was very good from Lucas. GG. That was impressive. Now we see Dirty Kuhai completing his lap time in give me a second. 8:33.035. Not too slow. Not too slow. I would also like to point out the AM Impostor in the Pro Class Zen VT with an 8:28.060. That is a very fast lap time for their class. Not too bad. Not too bad at all. We might see them being promoted to Pro next year, I think. Also, Moko Kong, I think it's Moko.
Mo Song, I believe.
Mo Song, my bad.
Yeah,
Mo Song.
that's right.
We are seeing them complete their lap time. They are now the Dottinger Höhe. And what speed are they going to reach? 275, 276, 77, over 280 probably? 280.
On the dot.
280 on the dot. I mean, those GT3s are very fast. I am actually expecting most of the drivers to, like, considering those speeds we are seeing, to run very low downforce setups. Those are very high speeds. Mozong, we are going to see them finish in P11 overall with a lap time of, if I could get my cursor on, 8:31.230. Very good. Minator again. Also on the Dottinger Höhe. We see her with a... Ooh, that's a very interesting delta because he is 1.1 second faster than her best lap time. And her gap to P1 is 1.1 seconds. So she's aiming for P1 and take it away from Lucas Lichten. Now we're going to see her taking on the last corners of the Nordschleife, going all the way full throttle to the finish line in an 8:15.865. That's not enough to get P1. However, she got very close, extremely close, and Ritomi Yada... Oh, that's fast. Oh, that's fast. 2 seconds of their fastest lap time. And here I thought that an 8:15 was absolutely fast here, but Ritomi Yada came here and said, nah, I can do one better. Right now, 1.7 seconds faster than their own fastest lap time. That is quick. That is very quick, and if they were able to keep this delta until the end of the session, that will put them P1 by more than a second and a half on Lucas Lichten. That is fast.
That is very fast, but there's still quite a long way to go as well to try and actually put this one in the bank and make it count.
Indeed, we see them taking on the YouTube corner here, and the remaining part of the last sector. I mean, this can be a bit sketchy because your car is going to jump all over the place, like on the curb here, then also on the over the crest is going to come up here. Your car is going to jump all over the place. If you don't nail the landing, you end up in the wall. But luckily we see that Jerome Miyato said, I'm a fast driver, I'm an experienced driver. Those landings are no problem for me. Now,
there's some definite confidence checks in the third sector here, but it looks like Reina Miata is not fazed by them at all.
Not in this light test. We see them taking on these last few corners before the Dottinger Höhe. Now, they're going to take on the small carousel. 2 more corners until the massive straight where they can rest a little bit, maybe relax their mind a little bit, focus on the massive braking zone that is going to come after this massive 2.1 kilometer straight, and we can now see all that glorious V8 roaring to their not their dance, my bad, to the dark forest, and it's a glorious sound. I mean, let's listen to it.
That's beautiful.
281 kilometers per hour. Right, we are going to come up to the braking zone. Can they nail it? Yes, they can. Reina Miata is going to finish their lap in an 8. I think it's going to be an 8:13.977. That's a power move. Wow! That's
really
a very
is.
fast lap time.
That is a hell of a statement for a lap time. That is a very decisive pole position.
Yes, indeed. Now we see Eric Gragis on the little carousel. He's also oh, does he have damage? I mean, if he does, that might be a bit of a problem because he's going to slow him down for the Dottinger Höhe. And any aero damage, I mean, it might not seem much, but this aero damage can slow you down by 10 kilometers per hour. And being slower by 10 kilometers per hour for, what, 10 seconds, that is a huge time loss. That is huge.
Especially with a straight like this where you are flat out for, I believe it's about 2.5 kilometers. That kind of deficit is going up. 2.1, thank you.
You're welcome. Let's look at the top speed.
It's going to be low. CM
Yeah,
273, 274.
Yeah, we can see the loss in the speed. It's noticeable. It's very noticeable. Last corners for Eric Gragis, and we are going to see him finish. Wait. Was going to be an 8. An 8:40.570. I mean, respectable time. Like, doing a lap time at all around the Nordschleife is actually a good result, especially because we are going I did spot a very notable absence from the top of the grid, Asa Di Nyampire. She currently doesn't have a lap time. Also, we see Zach Jensen completing their last attempt. How are they going to finish? They are right now P6 with an 8:27.085.
That's a very comfortable improvement. And now
Yes,
all eyes on Asa Nyampire as well as she finishes up her lap time.
Is she going to be able to set a lap time? Like, was it invalid? I don't think it was because she's pushing. But come on, Asa, show us what you got, and it's going to be P6. She snagged it from Jensen with an 8:25. All right, good job, Asa.
That's fantastic. We love a nice little buzzer beater, don't we?
And to be fair, that was a very tense qualifying. Like it was, the starting grid wasn't decided until the end of the session. Like that was, oh, that was a spectacle. That was an absolute spectacle. But yeah, here we see our starting grid. On the first row, Miyata and Lichten, followed by some fierce girls that are going to battle it for P3, Minette Hurricane and Rubine Komata. Now in the third row we have Ice Rambra and Asalini Empire with a very good lap time right at the end, followed closely by Zhang Jensen and Psycho Kaiser. Then in the fifth row we see Zenkyu and Ryoma Kirihara. Good job on Zenkyu for getting this up. Yeah, my bad. English hard. Then sixth row we have Battery and Ubidius. Good job also on them for finishing ahead on some pro drivers, which are Dirty Kuhai and Jordan Branch, which are going to close the grid of the pro drivers in seventh row. Then we see Zula Kiara and F. I don't remember who they are. Just an F is going to confuse me. Then Eric Gregis and Ken VT, followed by A VTube and G Foxington in the 10th row. Then the Playerente and our lovely iMentric Zanes, which we're thankful for with all the amazing Racing VTuber Clips episodes. Finishing the grid, DJ Overdrive and Mosong. That is a grid for sure. Like a lot of surprises, a lot of drama, especially at the end. And ooh, wait, was that a car that didn't start? It was an Aston Martin. I think it was Ryoma Kirihara. Okay, never mind. They started. Ryoma Kirihara for a second didn't start, and I was worried, but no, they did start at the end, and so our drivers are heading off to the start-finish line to start the race. Ape, any predictions?
I'm predicting fire into turn one. I'm seeing a few drivers here who are all gonna go in there wanting to make a statement and really make the most of this finale.
Oh, I also saw a spin a lot from our good iMentric Zanes. Something is going to happen. If he says spin a lot, something is going to happen. I'm also worried not just about turn 1, but also the rest of the GP loop, in all honesty. Like, we are going to see a lot of RG-Bargy there, and probably the first part of the Nordschleife, and then stuff will probably settle, and we will see a more orderly race, I think. Still with some battles, but it's going to be still a lot of RG-Bargy. Now we see the drivers preparing to start.
Green light. Go, go, go.
Green! And it's lights out, and away we go for this final race of the Vtracc Championship at the Nürburgring Nordschleife. We see already a good start from Lucas Lichten. Are they going to keep it clean into one? No, they didn't. I saw someone going into the gravel. I don't know who it was. I think. Ooh, okay. It's our friend F. Also, De Perente. I think also they went in the gravel. Eric Gregis. Ooh, a lot of drivers in the gravel. Ooh, a lot of names taken off by the turn 1 carnage. That is ugly. You know, it's turn 1. It's kind of expected. By the way, we see now a lot of battles in the middle of the grid, and then at the top of the grid we see Lucas Lichten leading the pack. No wait, is it Lucas Lichten?
It is Lucas Lichten, yeah.
Okay, it is Lucas Lichten.
Reina Miata being the loser of the race start there, having dropped 2 positions. Lucas Lichten moves up 1. Midnight Hurricane moves up 1.
That is a very bad start from Miata, but you know, the race is long. It's going to be 1 hour long. The Nordschleife is unforgiving, so anything can happen. But I would say that probably the overall loser of this start in the pole class, at least in low position, is going to be Ruby Nekomata. She is 2 positions behind her championship rival, Midnight Hurricane, which means if Hurricane can keep this position up, she can get quite a lot of points and potentially P2. Ruby needs to step up her game and not let this group ahead run away. Also, very interestingly, Asadin Empire is ahead of Iser Ambra, which actually went pretty fast in qualifying, but not a good start from Iser Ambra. That is going to be a race they will have to suffer through, because Asa is not an easy client to get through. She's going to be a very tough driver to overtake, so Iser Ambra, good luck to you. You will need it.
It seems like it set the race out to be difficult for anyone who started on the left-hand side. That includes pole position, strangely, with advantage going to drivers on the right.
We see Midnight Hurricane overtaking Lucas Lichten on the outside. Oh, there is a lot of argy-bargy, and Lucas Lichten in the gravel. Midnight Hurricane losing the position to Miyata. Ooh, a lot of stuff happening in the first lap. We are probably also missing a lot, but that is that is a very full first lap. Wow. Our drivers, they don't care if this is a 1 hour race. They're going to battling fiercely since lap 1. That is impressive. Wow.
Actually, any drivers we have who obviously has the umpire off.
Oh, that's huge. That's a little. I'm not sure if it was also Netco. Yeah, that's bad luck. Losing control and then getting collected by 2 cars. That is race ruined for Asadin Empire. I feel so bad for her.
Remember, it is a long race, so there's still a long way to go.
It's going to be a long way to go, and Ruby Nekomata, I think she heard me, and she immediately caught up Lucas Lichten and Midnight Hurricane and overtook her championship rival. So now the championship battle for P2 in pole class is again up in the air. Midnight Hurricane wasn't able to capitalize on her advantage on Ruby, and so here we are. With her losing not just 1 but 2 positions, and Ruby getting the upper hand in the points for now. Also,
see another incident here.
Yeah. That's ugly. That's a torpedo. That was unfortunate for Jordan Branch, which ended up getting collected in everything that happened, but
Pit window is open.
that was just we see Jordan Branch again, I think with some sort of damage or something else, because losing the car there might be either low traction control or damage that will make the car undrivable. That is not good.
I imagine there must be damage on that thing after an impact like that.
Yeah, that up against the wall right there is probably not going to help the situation either.
It's not, however. One little upside that we're seeing for anyone who has had a lap 1 incident, the pit window will be open at the end of lap 1. You see in the top of your screen there, pit window open. That means that drivers are now able to do their 1 mandatory pit stop for the race.
Yes, indeed. Now I'm going to make a bit of a prediction and say that Ruby Nekomata is not going to attempt to overtake Lucas Lichten at this point in time. Like, think about it. Her battle right now is with Midnight Hurricane. However, you are in a tight technical section, and you cannot really overtake her unless Lucas Lichten makes a mistake. To which I would like to add, I don't want to add a comment. Oh, Jordan Branch in the wall again. Yeah, there is a lot of damage there.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, those cars are crabbing heavily. Oh, that is not ideal. That is
No, it's really
absolutely not ideal.
Let's see what happens here.
Yeah,
Oh,
we
so-
see Psycho got loose on the curb, but that is not great. Oh, I feel bad for them. Like, a good qualifying session. Gone down the drain like that, but such is the Nordschleife. Such is the Nordschleife.
Consistency is already claiming its first victims.
Yes, indeed.
Let's see.
And Psycho Kaiser, I think. Okay, Jordan Branch, I think that's a DNF. Psycho
Yeah,
Kaiser,
that's
I
timing.
also saw them going very slowly. And oof, that is not good. Like, I feel sorry for them because they also had a. Like, especially Psycho, he had a very good qualifying session, but that looks like a DNF. Jordan Branch also, like, looks like he would have had a competitive race, but again, not good. And we see Icer Ambra overtaking Midnight Hurricane. I think Hurricane must have made a mistake because she lost a lot of time from Ruby Nekomata. That is a huge time behind, like, I think that's what? Yeah, that's more than
That is-
8 seconds behind, like 9 seconds behind, and more behind Ruby Nekomata. That's a huge time loss.
It is, but I imagine this is the comfort for Ruben Nakamata's game plan, because of course being one position ahead of a rival is not quite as good as being two positions ahead. Getting one car in between is a nice little buffer. At first it looked like she was going to have to overtake Lucas Lictor to do it, but instead it's like Icer Ambra is getting into the picture.
That is indeed very much true, and I think for Ruby now is going to be just a management race. Like, all she needs to do is to not make mistakes, bring it to the finish line, and that's it. P2. Oh yeah, Midnight Hurricane. Oh, that car is not. It has seen better days.
Yeah,
That is not good.
Another victim of the walls, I imagine. Looking at the damage down down the front of that car.
While Vertical High trying to show himself in the mirrors of Ubidius, he is very close by with the sniffer. He is probably going to sniff his exhaust. That was awful. My bad.
I think sniffing works. Sniffing around for a chance to overtake, sniffing around for an opportunity.
Fair
I think
enough.
it works.
Hey,
Especially
also,
look at the nostrils on that car.
yes, indeed. The sniffer is not going to leave any spaces left, like, unchecked. It will try to sniff you around for an overtake spot.
Yeah, well, that might just be a mistake as well, but I think Vertigo Hype determined to just be ready for whatever happens here.
Yes, indeed. If you're not ready for what Schleife is going to throw at you, you're going to be in for a very bad time. It will not take prisoners, it will not be gentle with you. It will not spare you. If you do something wrong, there is the wall.
That is very true. Adding to this equation as well is some damage on Movie Juice's car. We saw an incident earlier in the middle of lap 1. That car's now carrying aero damage. We see Zulakihara here.
Zulakihara right behind Battery. In this case, is the sniffer getting sniffed? And ooh, I think there was a not good contact because I saw Zulakihara going very slow. Probably something happened also behind DJ Overdrive on G Foxington. I think there was an attempt at an overtake. But it looks like they're doing pretty well right now. Like, not biggie, like, they're still in one piece, they're still running. That is what we want to see. We want to see our driver still running without any crashes.
That's very true. Following Lucas Lichten here again. It's looking very comfortable in second right now. This is the site of the contact that led to an overtake in the previous lap, but Lucas Lichten determined to just attack that corner fearlessly this time around.
I mean, you don't want to really lose any time, because Ruby Nekomata doesn't want to lose any time either. You can't lose any time either, otherwise she will be right behind you. Also, wait a second, Dirty go high on, I think, Ubidius. Oh, Ubidius going into the grass. Be careful because the rejoin might be a collection. That was close. That was very, very, very close.
Yeah, I think that was a synchronized sharp inhale from us both there, watching that
Yeah.
one. Yeah.
Especially because there were a lot of times, in my experience, where I went there, the person I was battling with would go on the grass, then I was taking the hairpin and they would collect me. So Dirty Kuhai, very lucky there to still be alive.
Very lucky. If he caught a glimpse of that in his mirror, then I'm sure he's feeling that right now.
Yeah, very, very likely so. Maybe a change in underwear might also be warranted.
Hopefully you can do that in a pit stop.
Yes. We see right here a battle for P5 between Ryoma Kirihara and Zach Jensen. They are very close, and also, is that Zenkyu? Oh, yes, yes it is. That is Zenkyu. Not too far behind these couple of drivers in Pro Class. And I would like to remind you, Zenkyu doesn't have to fight them, because he's in AM. These two drivers are in Pro, but like, he doesn't need to fight them. He doesn't need to keep up with their pace. Yet he is able to. Like, that is a very impressive drive from the AM driver.
It is. It's also sound strategy as well, keeping car between himself and second place in AM. And that little buffer just uses just trying to secure the position a little bit more.
Yes, indeed. That is going to be extremely important. Also because you can rest a little bit easier. Like, it's going to be... what is it going to be? It is a 3 seconds gap between Zen and Ubidius. There is a car in between them. You can kinda rest easy at this point in time. Like, do your race. Just manage your race pace, your tires. You are good to go. Like, it's not going to be a huge issue for Zenkyu.
I mean, that is true. It's an 8-second gap actually, so quite very comfortable gap. But even so, the more you push and the bigger lead you build up in the first half of the race, the more of a safety net you've got if there's a mistake later or anything like that. There's a lot of surprise elements racing around the Nordschleife, as we all know very well.
That is very much true, but at the same time, I was about to mention traffic is going to be a bit of a problem because Ryoma Kirihara and Zach Jensen are going to fight, they're going to lose time, and they're going to make you also lose time. So you also need to be careful about what you want to do with the cars ahead, because if you lose too much time, Ubidius and Kuhai are going to catch you up, and you really don't want that to happen.
Very true, especially because I imagine these two don't want Zenkyu to sneak in there and start getting in the way of this battle. Zach Jensen wants that position, and he wants to fight for it without being disrupted, without being interrupted.
That is very much true, and I think that if Zen were to play this a little bit strategically, if you will, we see an off-track by Ryoma Kirihara, but if he were to play this one strategically, we might see Zen trying to bump draft Jensen and not fight them, but try and gain some time and help them in the meantime, because really it's going to be something good for the both of them. Also, I would like to remind you guys that Lucas Lichten is right on Miyata's back, and they're on the Dottinger way. Lucas Lichten is going to... Oh, huge crash! Huge crash from Zach Jensen. Huge crash from Zach Jensen. That is... Oh, that is an ugly position to crash into.
It is, but what happened there? Was that contact from Zen behind? I guess we'll have to find out later.
Possible.
Now we're watching.
We also see Lucas Lichten right behind Miyata, but I don't think they're able to gain quite as much as I would have expected from them. Like, Miyata was able to keep the lead. I would say not necessarily comfortably, but without many issues. Like, it didn't seem to me that Lucas Lichten was able to gain quite a lot with this slipstream right there. I think we see a difference in downforce there. Or maybe it's just BOP. Still, that doesn't take away the fact that Lucas Lichten is right behind Miata, and it's not going to be an easy time for P1.
It's not. We've seen how hard Reina Miata can fight for a position already this season, and now Lucas Lichten is giving it to have a go. Looking very close to the
Watch out, watch out, watch out! We see an attempt at an overtake. Miata was able to brake later than Lichten, but this is a very tense battle already. They are fighting tooth and nail. Like, it's the third lap, I think. No, wait, second lap, my bad. They're already fighting heavily. There are still 5 or 6 laps to go. Guys, slow down a little bit. You still have a lot of race ahead of you. Don't fight too heavily right now. You might end up crashing and lose your position. So play it safe, I would say.
Well, unfortunately, it looks like Lucas Lichten is saying no to that, and yeah, just hanging in very close, trying to just be ready for any kind of opportunity. Oh, the grey exit there from Lucas as well.
Not bad at all. We also see that in the valser of pit stops, only the cars with damage did serve their pit stops, and I would say not necessarily. No, wait, no. All of them are taking the pit stops. We see Zach Jansen, for example, with damage before. I think they're taking the pit stop. Also, we saw Ryoma Kirihara before, also taking the pit stop. I think that both Lucas Lichten and Miata are going to stop after the half point of the race. Like, right now they're in a battle. You don't want to stop like a lot of time after your opponent, because otherwise your tires are going to be, well, actually ruined. Like, they might undercut you.
That's a very good point. And another thing I imagine these drivers are considering is that if they pit now, then they may well come out into traffic, and we know what a killer traffic is for pace around here. Whereas right now, what Lucas Lichten wants to do, if he wants to find a way around Reina Miata, he needs to keep his pace up, he needs to keep going fast, which means he's going to wait for the
DSQ.
behind him.
We see a DSQ for car number 128 for speeding in the pit lane. That is probably not going to be a good day for them. It was Ryoma Kirihara, DNQ, for speeding in the pit lane.
Oh.
That is
worse.
Yeah, I mean, that is an awful race for Technoburst. Psycho Kaiser and Ryoma Kirihara, awful race for them.
It is, but it's shaping up to be a good one for Lucas Lichten, who is right now right at the tail of Reina Miata. Psycho Kaiser running a bit slow here.
I think there is still some lingering damage, because otherwise I don't really know why they would drive so slowly, but yeah, ooh. Yeah, I think there is some lingering damage.
Yeah, there's definitely something not right with that car in there.
I don't think it's lingering, it's actually, I think he has yet to repair the damage. You don't really hold the wheel in that way if you want to turn normally, so I think that car is, I would say, as good as toast.
Yeah,
that is...
I imagine so, but just trying to limp it back to the pit so that mechanics can hopefully bend it back into being straight again.
Yep,
I have here as well.
Eric Draghis, and Battery and VTuber all in a battle for P8, very close to each other.
This is the battle for third place in AM, I believe. Yes, it is. Yeah.
Yes, third place in AM and fourth and 8th place overall. My bad.
Good.
We might see some stuff happening in the uphill section after the corner that tightens up, whose name I always forget. I think it was Bergwerk. Yeah, we might see some slipstream battles happening there. But for the time being, I think all they need to do is just bide their time, don't make any mistakes, and as soon as you get there, try and get this slipstream and try and find a spot to overtake. Which is, I think, something Lucas Lichten was trying to do. They're still behind Miata, and I don't think the gap really changed too much. I think they've been there for, what, half a lap? That is a lot of pressure on Miata, but they're able to handle it very masterfully.
Yeah, make it look so easy. Making it look like that car hasn't lost any downforce at all, but that's one of the things we know Lucas Lichten's very good at. It's interesting as well seeing the difference in lines as well. They're two very different cars. The Aston Martin front-engined, while Porsche is rear-engined. Opposite weight distributions, and leading to slightly different ways of driving a line around this track.
That is very much correct, and I'm actually curious to know how much is dirt here affecting Lucas Lichten, because I mean, you're going to feel it.
You are going to feel it. Yeah, you are going to feel it, but he's definitely making it look like there's not much going on, right? He still looks very comfortable driving like this.
Yeah, I think a lot of the rotation doesn't come from the downforce, but actually from the rear engine on the Porsche.
It definitely does, yeah. But also just like to highlight as well, all the time that Lucas is driving this close to Reina Miata.
Oh, watch out!
There.
On the gravel, Lucas Lichten 2 ways on the gravel. That is a very big time loss. Sorry for interrupting you, but that was huge, I would say.
Oh yeah, that was not the dream. I think we've just commentators cursed Lucas there, so apologies, Lucas. But yeah,
sorry,
just the sheer amount of time that we just saw Lucas driving right behind Reina Miata. Not only are you losing downforce when you're that close, but you can't really see what you're doing either. You can't see the track ahead of you. You're driving half blind.
That is true, and again, Lucas Lichten off track. Off the track, you need to go back on. Oh, not like that. Oh, that was. Watch out for Ice Ramba that was coming up right behind them. Oh, that is not ideal. That was not ideal for Lucas. Also,
very
I think
aggressive mistake for Lucas. Yeah.
Yeah, I think we owe them an extra apology for the other commentator's curse. So, Lucas, if you're listening to us, we deeply apologize.
I'm sure he'll manage. Pull that car into the pit lane soon, get whatever repairs it needs.
Probably. I don't think there will be a lot of repairs that needs to be done. Like, I think it's just some small aero damage. Also, we see the lap for P3 in AM that is going to intensify. They are approaching the Dottinger Höhe, and both Battery and Eric Gragis are going to add this slipstream.
We see a big slide there for Battery, but
yep,
keep that pace up.
I mean, you really need to be this close to the car ahead of you at this point of the track, because if you're not, that is going to be a huge loss on the over 2 kilometers long straight, and we see a VTube. That was close!
Yeah, that was tense, that one. Unfortunately, in dealing with that, it looks like Gragas has lost the slipstream as well to Battery.
That is true, but I think he also lost 8 kilograms. Like, I don't want to say anything disgusting, but I think he's very happy that he was able to survive. that looked extremely spooky from us on the broadcast. I'm guessing it was even spookier for Eric on the car in first person.
I imagine so, yeah. Spend the straight getting that heart rate back down. I see Mo Song here as well, chasing down Zulaki Hara.
Yes, I think they do have some problems with the lines. With the racing lines on the braking line, on the braking zone after the Dottinger Höhe. I'm not sure if that's netcode or just a bit of being careful with their driving, but I think they lost them a little bit from Zula Chiara, and actually VTube was able to catch them up, but again, we see that a lot of drivers take different lines, and we see the gaps stretching and getting back to being closer as they were. We see Mulzong that, as I said, lost a lot of time in the... That's another commentator's curse. That's three.
Yeah, that slight time loss turned into a very big one there.
But yeah, I was saying, they lost time at the end of the Nordschleife, but they gained a lot of time on the initial 2 hairpins of the GP loop. But yeah, Musong, if you are hearing us, apologies again for the commentator's curse.
I don't think we can be blamed for that one. I don't think that one was us.
That is true, probably. Also, Monsieur or Madame VTube, they are going to have, I think, a lot to explain to the stewards, because I don't think that was intentional in the slightest. However, you still crashed into a car ahead of you, so the stewards will have something to say about that, probably.
Sure, it can kind of weigh on you as well if you're thinking about it during the race, but priority number 1 is the race. We still have 32 minutes left on the clock.
Yes, indeed. We see Dirty Kuhai very much focused on the race. Right now, in temporarily P6 and P5 in class. Oh, thank you. I think that was Zenkyu that went on the grass and lost the overall P5. I don't know what happened, but usually there, if you are on the grass there, it means that you had a loss of traction. And losses of traction around the Nordschleife, they are, may I say, not nice.
Yeah,
Because
not the dream.
they come up like when you don't expect them to. Oh, we see drivers being not nice between each other as well. That was
Yeah, that was
a
scrappy,
lot
that
of
one.
argy-bargy.
Yeah. So the flashing lights there as well from Amethyst of VTube's car as well. I'd say, not thrilled about that one.
Yeah.
Nonetheless, carrying on the battle here, trying to get side by side. Not quite.
Yeah, I think is that Greg? Oh yeah, I think it's Greg. Yeah, Eric Greg is being able to keep. No wait, it's Zud. My bad. It's Zud Chiara being able to keep the position. However, at the hairpin, we see VTube trying to come back for that position loss, but 2 wheels on the grass, it doesn't really work there. You're going to lose a lot of time there.
Yeah, but well held. That could have ended in disaster, so great
That
car
is
control
good.
there from Amethyst.
I mean, congratulations on that too. Oh! I was about to say.
Anything.
I was about to say congratulations to them for actually not spinning. And then they spun.
I feel like the real lesson is that at some point soon we'll have to just keep our mouths shut.
Yeah. We're cursing a lot of drivers.
Yeah.
I feel bad for them.
Still, back to following Mosong right now, hunting down G. Foxington.
Yeah, we see X-Ring versus Bagu. We know the X-Ring drivers are very fast, and the Bagu drivers, they are also not easy clients to overtake, so there is going to be a battle to keep your eyes on.
Really is.
Oh, they are going on the downwind section towards the bridge.
Yeah, we're coming up to Bergwerk soon. Be a very high-speed section, a lot of aero. Right now, Mosong's just trying to set up for that.
Yes, indeed. I mean, are they going to be able to have this slipstream like Zenkyu does right now on Dirty Kuhai? Are they going to be able to keep this slipstream? And it looks like Kuhai is pulling away in that M4, which is a bit of a beast in a straight line.
Oh yeah. And that's exactly what Kohai needs to defend here as well, unless Zen fancies a chance. Probably not urgent, considering Zen is, of course, in the AM class, so there are no points for overtaking Dirty Kohai, but...
At the same time, no driver here wants to lose time, so if in order to not lose time, you need to overtake the driver ahead, even if it's not for class position. You need to do it, because otherwise, the drivers in your class are going to come up at you, and you're going to get overtaken.
That's a very good point, yeah. Very much keep your eye on the prize kind of moment, isn't it? Coming back to Mosong here as well.
I think that's battle for P6 in class.
Yeah.
And we see the drivers taking on the carousel. Lovely corner, that one. Which, I mean, speaking of the carousel, I really don't understand why some people say, I wish they flattened the corner. No, it's iconic. Like, you don't flatten the carousel.
Oh yeah, you're right. It's absolutely iconic. It's such a trademark of this track, and yeah, I don't know. It'd almost be like having a Ferrari without a prancing horse on it. It just wouldn't be complete if you did.
Yeah, I mean, that's true. Oh, well, some people
very
don't
close now. I'm gonna look up the outside there.
Wusong showing themselves up in the mirrors of that Ferrari, saying, "You might have a prancing horse, but I'm still here. You are not running away with your horse." And speaking of horses, there is the other horse, the Porsche of VTuber, right behind you, right behind Wusong. So this is going to be a very interesting battle.
Yeah, like Amethyst on a recovery drive at the moment. Seems to be quicker than the drivers in front of her, but being faster than and getting overtakes done is on two very different things. You see Ruby Nakamata coming into the pits here, Reina Miata in the pits already.
Is the
Isa
top
Amber
4
in,
coming into the pits?
in.
The entire top 4 into the pits. They are not going to lose each other, so nobody is going to undercut anyone. Yeah, this is going to be a purely pace battle.
It is, yeah. It looks like they're making a gamble on the gap behind them being big enough to carry on in mostly clean air and not lose pace in traffic.
I mean, probably, like, a pit stop is going to take 30 seconds or something like that.
30 seconds stationary, probably another 30 seconds rolling through the pit lane, so a minute overall.
Yeah, a minute overall. I think they had 50 seconds of advantage on Dirty Kukai, and we see Miata, Nekomata, and as well, they're getting out of the pits already, and we also see Kukai and Zenkyu into the pits, so no traffic for the top 4. Wait, I think Zenkyu stopped at the pit lane entrance. I don't know what happened there. That was weird.
Yeah, that looked odd, but it's moving now at least.
Yeah, and we are also seeing Lucas Lichten with a very long pit stop. I think, yeah, they did repair their damage, so that was a bit of a time loss for them. I think they're trying to finish this race with a good P4, which is still a pretty good result, but no, I don't think the one they hoped for. Also see Muzong, Amethysta pitting, I think also Zula Kiara pitting. G-Fox, I don't think he's pitting.
No,
well,
G-Fox staying out.
Yeah, G-Fox staying out. I don't know if that's going to be a good move though, because your tires are going to be dead at the end of this lap. I mean, not dead, but you're going to feel the drop in performance.
Yeah, I imagine that's exactly what Mosong's hoping for, is to get that undercut done here. Got a whole 8-minute lap to capitalize on the fresh tires.
We have a DSQ for number 53 and a penalty for number 47. So Dirty Kuhai disqualified for speeding in the pit lane, and Zenkyu with, I think, a 30-second stop and go penalty, also for speeding. That is not ideal.
That might be what we saw with Zen stopping in the pit entry there, just trying to get back the time gained through speeding in pit lane. Yeah, sometimes it can alleviate a penalty, but I think not this time.
I think that's indeed what we saw. Not pretty for either of them. That is not good.
No, not the dream.
Yep. Yeah. Especially because, I mean, a 30-second stop and go penalty here is basically the same time loss as you would have for a normal pit stop, roughly.
It is, without the benefit of getting fresh tires for your trouble.
Exactly. So, yeah, I mean, it's going to be 1 minute time loss, which is going to put Zenkyu very low on the grid. Like, give me a second. I need to do some quick math. And where would put them on the grid? Like, I think it's going to put them in P4, in P15. That is a huge time loss.
We've got different maps there. I thought it was going to be P10 overall, but I guess we'll just have to wait and see.
I mean, to be fair, maths is not my strong suit, so you're probably right.
We're also seeing he's under pressure now as well from maybe battery.
Yeah, I mean, you don't want to lose time, but at the same point, you are going to get the position at the end of the lap. It's going to be a long lap. So, I mean, it's still 25 kilometers, but you're always going to get this position, unless you make a mistake. Which is something I shouldn't have said, considering all the commentators' curses we had tonight, but...
yeah, we need to stop talking about people not making mistakes, but...
I said that, so I can hope that it's not going to happen.
We can, but unfortunately I think that's kind of what mid-battery's hoping for here. Zen, of course, going to be rattled a little bit by that penalty. You know, it's always frustrating to have happen. And having the combo of that and the pressure of battery following really close, it's going to be difficult.
Yeah, it's not going to be an easy time at all. So Zen, good luck for the rest of the race. You will need it. Like, there is a lot of pressure he needs to handle.
Oh no, sorry, that's not battery at all. That's Midnight Hurricane.
Oh, right. Oh yeah, battery is actually quite behind. 12 seconds behind. Oh! That might be a DNF. No, never mind. It's not a DNF, but that was a huge hit. Midnight, if I commentator cursed you, I apologize. I mean,
well, that's the Midnight Hurricane gets moving again right as soon as they finished seeing stars after that impact.
But I think that's 5 in this stream. I think that's the biggest kill streak any commentator ever had in Vtracc.
It was amazing just how quickly that one happened.
Oh yeah, the car is not going straight. We can see it from that wheel. There is a huge damage in the front suspensions. That is not good.
No, that's going to be a handful getting that back to the pits, but it's still 20 minutes left in the race. It's still worth doing.
That is true. I mean, you're going to lose more time grabbing like this rather than the time you're going to spend in the pit lane repairing your car. Still, I was surprised it wasn't a DNF because in other simulators I played in, a crash like that would be radiator completely destroyed. That was basically DNF. So very lucky for Midnight Hurricane to not DNF in there.
Yeah, that's a very good point.
Yeah, we see them slowing down quite heavily there, losing the position on Ubidius and Eric Gregis. And speaking of losing the position, I think Ubidius is losing it to Eric Gregis. They're going side by side, and we see Eric Gregis getting the upper hand for GQ Racing.
That must mean Eric Gregis up into 3rd in the AM Championship at the moment.
Oh, yes indeed. Yes indeed, that would be P3 in the championship.
In the AM class rather.
Oh yeah, in the AM class, my bad.
Yeah. I didn't do my maths that quick. I'm not that good.
Yeah, I think we had a collective brain cell moment there. Whoopsie daisy. I mean, I guess stuff like this can happen.
It can, and
Ooh,
I imagine like a
ooh,
lot
on
of
the
us feel a
grass.
bit rattled there, especially as we see Greg is there running to the grass. Yeah, it's been so eventful already though, this race so far.
Yeah, it's been
That's like I
40.
always say, Dodge Life never disappoints.
Yeah, it's been 40 minutes of pure drama. I mean, 42 at this point in time, but yeah, it's been 42 minutes of pure drama and of the good kind, like not the bad kind that VTubers are famous for, but actually good racing, very good racing, and a lot of on-track action. And here we see Asadini Empire overtaking, I think that's that player Ente,
Yep, it
and
is.
trying to recover. I mean, trying to salvage what is not an amazing race for her, like sadly.
It's not. It's very much been a recovery drive so far. This
Yeah.
this endeavor.
Still, props for Asa for not giving up. Like, that is something I really value in drivers, not giving up. I mean, unless your car gives up first. I mean, not giving up as a driver, I think that's something that needs to be commended and also praised.
It really does. Yeah.
Oh,
Completely agree with.
in the wall.
Now you see that car weaving a little bit as well.
Yeah,
Maybe
the car is not going straight.
Yeah. Right, you see it wanting to climb that curve there as well, as fighting it, trying to keep it on track, keep it going the right way.
Yeah, that wheel is not straight. That is a big problem.
Yeah. It's happened again. I'm sure at some point these drivers are just gonna ask us to turn the cameras off just to
Yeah. I mean,
just to stop this from happening.
Yeah, please broadcast. Don't look at us. We don't want to get commentator cursed by Rossi. Oh, we see Fox Black with a TWRT livery chasing
Amethyst there, just having a big slide.
Yeah, I mean, luckily it was just a slide and nothing more.
Yeah, definitely.
I should shut up. I don't want to curse Baptiste again. Oh no.
I mean, at
Well,
this point, it's just an observation on what has just happened anyway, isn't it? It's finished.
Fair enough.
You know?
That's
Afterwards, that's definitely out of our hands.
Yeah, that's a good point. That is a very good point. We see Fox Black. Now on the Nottingham, if you crash on a straight, it's not going to be a commentator's curse. That is going to be a skill issue if you crash on a straight, alright?
I love that
yeah.
you're just getting the defense in nice and early now.
But yeah, I mean, we see them going on the Nottingham, unbothered, unmoisturized. Wait. I think that was a bad reference, but yeah, like resting a little bit, and I think we see Zenkyu serving the stop and go penalty here. Oh, Muzong! Muzong in the barriers. Oh, that is not a good race for the extreme drivers, is it?
No, what happened here? Was this just...
Oh, it was Zunakihara going slow for a slide, and oh, I think that's Muzong in the wall, and I think they also collected Zunakihara. That is, that's not good for the Aston Martin driver.
It's not good for anyone involved.
Yeah, that is true.
So we're definitely at the point in the race now where drivers are running that equation in their head. How bad is this damage? Can I manage it? Can I just keep it on track? Would it be faster to stay out instead of repair it?
And wait, is that the TSQ also for Zenkyu? Oh, yeah, I think that's a DSQ. Zenkyu has been disqualified.
I think it's a DNF. I think penalty got served and then disconnected.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, that was a very difficult race, so... Oh, a DSQ, okay. Thank you, Sean. That is not a good time for Technoburst and GQ Racing.
It is not now.
Poor guys.
Although I imagine that the event so far has been music to the ears of Ruby Nekomata and Isa Ambra, currently rounding out the podium positions.
That is true. I mean, I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to say it. I don't want to curse them. We see Amethysta trying to overtake on Fox Black, if I'm not mistaken. Bit of archie-parchie, bit of contact, but I think Amethysta was able to get the position. I'm not sure if the stewards are going to like that overtake, but that's position.
It is. Either way,
Oh,
it looks
okay,
like
okay.
Amethyst bring it back. Just
Yeah,
play
they
safe,
gave the
but-
position back. I think they realized it wasn't really a clean move, so very good sportsmanship from Amethysta. That needs to also be commended and praised. Like, sportsmanship always needs to be praised.
Definitely, we value fair play here. But nonetheless, the fair play continues in a slightly more tense way now, as Amethysta knows that she can get this overtake done. Now it's just a question of getting close, finding the opportunity, and getting it done.
Yeah, it's a matter of when and where, and also how cleanly can I do it, how safely can I do it. We see Amethysta getting closer there, in a place where you really don't want to overtake. That's a high-speed section where going side by side is a suicide. But we see now Amethysta also closing by again. Are they going to have the inside? Yes, they are. Are they going to be side by side? No, they aren't. Oh. But yeah, we can see that Amethyst is putting a lot of pressure on Fox Black, I think.
Yeah, but we're also just seeing, like, as soon as that Porsche comes out of the slipstream, it just runs out of puff a little bit and can't quite get the same top speed the BMW can.
Yeah, I mean, the BMW with the twin turbos is really able to get a lot of power. But we also see in the corners, it seems very sluggish.
It does. There's also that initial acceleration phase right there, where the Porsche is briefly accelerating quicker than the M4 can. So,
I mean,
the advantage works later on down the straight, but Amethyst is making the most of it.
I mean, Porsches are notorious for having a good traction. That engine on the rear axle is, I mean, you know, going to put a lot of weight on there, and if you have a lot of weight on your rear axle, you are going to have a lot of traction.
That is very true.
But, you know, overall, besides that initial contact, we see a very clean battle between the two. That was a scary wiggle from Amethysta.
It was, but that's the wiggle of a fighter right there. That's Amethyst trying to use every last millimeter of the track and just going a little bit overboard, just finding the limit.
Yep, I have to agree right there. Like, you really want to try and use everything in your power to gain even the slightest of advantage, as long as it's clean, because we value fair play here. But yeah, as long as it's clean, you try and use everything to gain an advantage. We see now Isa Rambra closing by on Ruby Nekomata. Like, they are not close enough to attempt an overtake at the end of this straight, but I think they are close enough to gain quite a lot with this slipstream.
Yeah, because I can see that gap shrinking a little bit on my timing screen. If that's accurate or not, I don't know. It's kind of hard to tell moment to moment.
I mean, it should be.
Yeah.
However, we can
Sure,
also see...
though Isa Ambro's game plan here is going to be real same to Amethysta's though, isn't it? Just stay close and look for the opportunity.
That is true. But yeah, we can see that M4 pulling in a straight line with that very powerful twin-turbo inline-6 engine. That is not something you can underestimate. Isa Rambra diving into the pits. Why is that?
That's very strange.
I don't think they have a drive-through or a stop-and-go penalty. I
No.
don't see anything on my... yeah, that's weird. Why did they stop? Maybe some damage they picked up?
Didn't look damaged though. That car looked very confident.
Yeah, same
Oh, well,
here.
I'll have to ask them after the race. For
Yeah.
now though, back to watching Mosong here. Currently still trying to make progress, finding a way around Zul Akihara.
I mean, this is not really a place where you can overtake. This is a very technical section. Like, try and overtake here, you can do it only if your opponent makes a mistake, but otherwise... Oh no, I should just shut up. Oh no, Zul, I don't want to curse you.
Well, I will quite happily tempt fate by mentioning that although there are lots of places on this track where overtaking is difficult, it is not forbidden anywhere. It's
That
not
is
like
true.
Macau. And if you dare, you are good to try and make an overtake any way you'd like, as long as you can do it safely.
That
Of
is...
course, there's always that question as well, asking the other person, saying, I'm willing to try and overtake here. Are you willing to try and defend here?
That's indeed very true. And yeah, I mean, overtaking here, like, it's also not a matter of being able to, it's also a matter of having the courage to do so, because, I mean, it's scary here.
It is. Especially with the way the track meanders about a little bit, especially if we're going to see over the next few kilometers here. Like all those little moments where you end up on the left edge of the track and the right edge, left edge, right edge.
Yeah,
As the track just sneaks left and right, it
we
really
are not
makes
going
it
to be in
difficult.
the technical section anymore, we are on the Dottinger Höhe, we see this slipstream, and we see Muzon taking full advantage of it. They are going to go side by side out of this slipstream, and we are going to see that AMG pull besides that Aston Martin and overtake it. However, Zul also has this slipstream now. They could counter overtake there, especially considering that this part of the track isn't the strongest for Muzong. Will they be able to, however? That's the question.
It looks like a good setup for it. It's going to be a difficult braking though to make a lunge in though. It's like Akihara just can't get the move. Just can't find a way through before the opportunity closes up.
I think Duel also backed out of it a little bit just to be safe, because you could overtake there, but you also don't want to crash her, so you know, it goes back to the saying, if you want to finish first, you need to first finish. I mean, this is not going to be a battle for first, but you need to first finish if you want to finish at all.
That is
So,
very true.
it's going to... I think in Zeus' head it was, I'm going to play safe, I'm not going to crash, I'm going to take some space, and then I'm going to try and see if I can come up with something.
I think that's the right attitude as well. If you get the opportunity to just do this at a comfortable pace where you can, I want to say relax a little bit, it could be quite good for just keeping your head on straight and keeping things consistent.
That is true. That is a very fair point. Oh yeah, we see that Muzong apparently seems to have done their maths right, and they're actually pretty far ahead on Zul. Like, Zul might have backed out of that one, but it might have been too much because that is a huge gap. Like,
It is, and it's
3
growing
seconds.
rapidly. Yeah.
3.5 seconds at this point in time. That's big.
And we haven't even finished the GP section yet.
And there we go, into the Nordschleife.
Mosong now looking very relaxed in that car.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, you don't really have anyone ahead or behind you, so you have a lot of space to relax a little bit. Take it safe, don't do anything rush or impulsive, just take safe lines, do everything safe, and you're going to be good to go.
That's very true.
I mean, I think that's what we're seeing from Lucas Lichten right now. Like, very consistent pace from them, pretty safe as well. They do have the fastest lap of the race though.
Not only that, it was last lap when Lucas Lichten set it. Same is true for the two cars in front as well. Reina Miata, race leader and pro champion, and second place Ruben Nekomata. All three of them set their fastest laps on that previous lap.
So yeah, I think my point before, in taking it safe, not making mistakes, I think they threw it out of the window. I think they're just hot lapping at this point. And I mean, to be fair, you have Vtracc ahead of you. It's the Schleifer. Like, why not take the opportunity?
That is true. Much less risk of running into traffic now as well, as everyone's done their pit stops, everyone's bolted back in. Maybe this is just what they can do when they're not tripping over each other.
I guess so. And that would check out, actually. That would actually be very true. And it's very interesting to see them actually settle in a pace which isn't really... Like, it's not slow, it's actually pretty fast, but they're settling in, and it's a comfortable pace for them.
They are, yeah, especially if you see Lucas Lichten here really pushing the limits of that car.
Yeah, that was a slide.
It was a hell of a slide. That was great car control from Lucas Lichten there.
Yeah, especially since it's a Porsche. If it really has a rear engine moment, as we like to call it, you are not going to catch it.
That is true. You can really see he's pushing it though. Like, you can see how high he's climbing the curbs here, really pushing the limits of that suspension.
Indeed, overall, looks pretty relaxing, all things considered, even though Lucas Lichten is now pushing like crazy.
I guess that says something about Lucas Lichten when he can set the fastest lap of the race and just make it look easy.
That is very much true. Lucas is very much known for being an extremely fast driver, and I think we are going to have an extra lap.
We are, yes. They will be going around for one more lap after this one.
Ooh, I think I genuinely think people accounted for it because we are going to be very tight on time. Like, I think Miata is going to cross the start-finish line when there are still a few seconds to spare on the clock. But if people underfueled and didn't consider this extra lap, this might throw a curveball at a lot of people's races.
It easily could, yeah. I believe Ice Amber is going to be the first person to cross the finish line after the timer runs out. There will be another lap for Ice Amber after that, of course, but that's the point, I think, where we're going to start looking at drivers wondering if they were expecting this lap or not.
Yes, indeed. Yeah, I mean, did you put in enough fuel? That's the question. That's the very big question.
That is right now the golden question. See Fox Black here. Chasing down, is that Amethysta? Yeah.
Yes, that's Amethysta, which is also chasing down, I think, Zulakiara.
Yes. Just missing the banked section there on the carousel.
Yeah, you really don't want to do that. You're going to lose a lot of time if you do that.
You're right, it's like a NASCAR track in there. The camber just gives you extra grip and makes it so much faster if you can just get onto a nice comfortable line in there.
Yes, yes indeed. And now we see them on the S section. Oh, that's a slide. That is one big slide.
Yeah.
And it's also not a fun point to lose control at, because if the car is coming up, you really need to be careful and you need to rejoin safely. Like, I cannot stress this enough. You always need to rejoin safely. Pay extra attention to your surroundings.
Especially in a high commitment corner like that, that's exactly where those kinds of accidents can happen and where they can kind of compound together.
Yeah, and we see that there was a safe rejoin, and also both drivers, Kenneth and Fox Black, taking a not optimal line through that corner, but we see an attempt at an overtake where we usually wouldn't see it. Around the outside, right
Yeah.
there. That's
Yeah, again,
impressive.
that was rapidly closing, but just wide enough to fit that Ferrari through. McLaren, rather,
Yeah.
my mistake.
I mean, that's just a very good overtake. That was
textbook.
Yeah, very, very nice.
Yeah.
We see that also the other drivers, I think a lot of drivers are settling into a rhythm. I think that Alcerambra is also taking it easy. Battery is also taking it easy. Eric Gregg is like everyone. I think is taking it very easily. They're trying to settle into a pace. Don't do anything stupid. Don't crash. Don't go off track.
That is it. The golden plan, just keep it simple, keep it on track, keep it going in the right direction.
And we see that Midnight Hurricane. I don't think this plan applies to her, especially since you are on a big recovery drive. But I don't know how much you can recover at this point in time. Like there is still a big, huge list of AM drivers that you still need to overtake. And yeah, I don't think you can do much about it in just one lap.
No, there isn't much time to do that, but nonetheless, Midnight Hurricane's going to keep on making progress as best they can.
Yeah, and we see she's pushing. Like that slide there, I caught it with my eyes. That is the sight of someone trying to push as hard as they can.
Oh yeah. Midnight Hurricane's a fan of making a statement. See, just bouncing over that curve a little bit, catching a bit of air. Yeah, Midnight Hurricane's a driver who definitely likes to make a statement and try and make the most out of everything.
Yes, indeed, and we see an overtake here. Like she really wants to send a message. Hey, my race might not be the best, but I'm still going to race the hardest I possibly can, and you know, props to them. They are not giving up.
That's it, a fighter to the bitter end.
Yes, indeed. That's always something you want to see. It's nice.
It is. It's definitely one of the things that separates a good driver from a great driver.
Yeah, I agree. So yeah, this race might not be the best for Midnight, but she did show that she's a great driver. Never giving up, always keeping up the pace. So, Midnight, you might not have the best of results in this race, but you showed us that you are capable of having them. Like, never giving up, always pushing. That's a good job.
Definitely, and if you need another example, Midnight Hurricane almost won in Donington last round as well. Was challenging for the lead for a decent chunk of that race. And yeah, again, fighter to the bitter end, we just see Midnight using up every last centimetre of the track.
Every single inch of the track is getting used by her as much as possible.
As well as flattening those curves as much as possible. Look at that go.
Yeah, I mean, they're not the only one. Ooh, there is traffic. There is traffic. And it's not in an easy section to overtake it at. So, lap traffic might slow Miata a little bit, and maybe Ruby could catch up a little bit, but never mind. Traffic got out of the way.
Well, even so, something like that, it never has no impact. There's always some little time loss, and who knows, it could affect one driver slightly worse than the other.
Yeah,
will no doubt be looking at it like it's an opportunity.
Yeah, I think Miata lost some time. Like the gap now is a second and a half. So from the 2.7 seconds on the last sector, yeah, there was some time lost for lapping cars.
There was, yeah. It's
not
gonna
a huge time loss, but it was there.
Yeah. Definitely be tough to close that gap over the rest of this race, though.
Yeah. I mean, the only way for Ruby to win will... I'm not going to say it. I don't want to curse another driver. But yeah, there is only one way for Ruby to win this race. I'm not going to say which one. There is only one.
Engage the rocket boosters.
Yeah, we can now see the missile, the rocket that M4 is. Well, at least I would if I second monitor didn't die for a second. Yeah, 273, 274, I think, in a bit. Now that they're over the uphill section. Yeah, 274. Yeah, these cars are really pushing very high speeds around here. Yeah, that's going to be the end of the race with Reina Mejada in P1. They weren't able to keep the lead for the entirety of the race, but almost. So that was a very commanding win from them. So congratulations to Reina Mejada for the dominant run around the Nordschleife and also for the dominant run in the championship. That's impressive. Also, Rubine Komata, very good second place. She pushed really, really hard. Like, starting from P4, I think, P3, she was able to gain an extra position and gain a P2 in the championship. Was that a red flag? Oh, never mind. Never mind, I think it was just an ACC moment. But yeah, Lucas Lichten, good job on them as well. They were able to take home a very nice P3. Ice Rambra also, they were able to keep it steady for the race. Good job on them. We see maybe battery, like they're in the last section of the track. The Dottinger race is going to be soon. They can rest there a little bit, and then after the race they can rest an extra bit. And we can see that there is a pretty big gap from Eric Regis. They can rest, like take it easy, don't make mistakes, take the Dottinger here, and you will be home in a matter of seconds. I mean, literally, maybe a minute or two, but yeah, it's not going to be long until you will be home. Oh well.
No, but I'm sure it feels like an age with knowing that Eric Regis is still just one mistake away.
That is true. And speaking of Chinese drivers on an M4, Minette Hurricane still wants to send a message and is hunting Zula Chiara. And I think she will be able to do it soon.
I imagine so. One last time it would take to bring her home.
Maybe here, if she's aggressive enough, but no, never mind. She doesn't really have the space. Yeah, I think that sooner or later she will be able to overtake Zul. She's a fast driver, and with all the respect to Zul, yeah, they're not in the same league.
No.
Oh! No! I cursed another driver! Oh, that was scary. That was very scary.
It was, but oh my goodness, what a stylish recovery for an incident like that.
That's also true. That's also very true. For a moment I was like, okay, that's another kill streak. That's another kill to add to my kill streak. Luckily not. Oh boy, that was scary.
It was. Meanwhile, we have maybe Battery has crossed the line to take the class win. Eric Regis.
That's indeed correct. Then we are going to see Ubidius will soon cross the finish line to end in P3 in class. Congratulations to them, that was a good race. And there are going to be Muzong, Amethysta, Hurricane and Zul, I think. Yes. And then it will be the rest of the grid. Good showing from all of our drivers. Really appreciate all of their driving. We saw some very fair racing, like there were some crashes here and there, but it wasn't anything intentional really. Overall, very pleased with our drivers.
Yeah, me too. Huge compliments out to the whole field, really, for taking on a very tough challenge, doing an hour race around here.
And doing it very cleanly. That's good. That is something we want to see.
Definitely.
Also, I would like to congratulate, especially Midnight Hurricane, because he didn't give up. That is something people really need to appreciate. I mean, P10 after being, I think, almost last. That's good.
It is. That's
actually very
really good. And especially with the recovery from that incident right at the end as well, like that's just the result of being a fighter right through to the end.
Yes, indeed. And I mean, you can see some donors being happy that they were able to bring it home and recover so many positions. I mean, deserved. Absolutely deserved.
Definitely deserved.
So see the rest of the grid trying to take the finish line. There are only 2 players left. That Lerente and G-Fox. Like pretty close to each other. The last remaining drivers, which are part of the Bagu Racing team. And it's going to finish here soon. Only 2 corners left. Then the start finish straight and you will be home. And congratulations especially on all the drivers that were able to finish the race in one piece. And, you know, without a DNF, because that is very difficult. Yeah, that Errante finished the race, and now G Foxington about to cross the finish line. There we go. And that's it. That was the race.
It was, and what an eventful race that was.
Extremely eventful.
It was. Congratulations to Reina Miata for the race win, and congratulations again on the championship as well. For the rest of the championship standings, you have to keep an eye on the Vtracc.eu socials, as well as making sure that you keep up to date on when the next season is happening as well in the new year.
Also, with the release of AC Evo, depending on the state it will be released, like, if it will be released in a reasonable state, who knows if we're going to keep using ACC or not.
Yeah, fingers crossed indeed for the future of sim racing as a whole right now.
Yes, I completely have to agree.
So any closing thoughts on the race? Any takeaways, any lessons from that do you think we can leave with?
If you drive on the Notch type, you need to take into account that you are going to crash sooner or later. Like, I think that every driver had a moment, like the entire grid. Reina Miyata, I think she did have a moment at the beginning of the race, I think at the hairpin. Ruby Nekomata, maybe she didn't, but for sure she did have some moments where she had to like take her right foot off the throttle, slow down a little bit, take it easy, don't crash. Ice Rambra also, I think also Lucas Lichten, everyone had at least one big moment. So yeah, something you need to take into account is if you're going to race around your Schleife in ACC, be careful.
Be careful.
Don't crash.
Be careful and brace for an emotional roller coaster.
Yes, indeed.
Good note to close on. Thank you everybody for watching. Thank you to all our drivers for putting on such a great show. Thank you, Sebastiano Rossi, for joining me in the commentary booth. Thank you, Sion KP, for the broadcast. And we'll see you on the racetrack.